Yo, what's good, YouTube? This is Jay from TNJ, and welcome back to the Denver Bears franchise. We sit here at the beginning of August with 42 wins, and we are likely out of the playoff picture, barring some miracle. But this year has been different. I gotta admit it. Some guys that I expected to do really good have done really bad. Kind of like guys that, I had high expectations for, but, kind of disappointed this year. Kind of like Ronald Odor. We signed him in the offseason. I wasn't expecting him to hit 207, but it seems that way, since we've had him in kind of a platoon role. And now he's kind of glued to the bench. But guys that have been surprising so far, German Marquez stays to be Mr. Steady here. Derek Rodriguez has the lowest whip on the team as a starting pitcher, 119 whip. And then Nick Goody, who we picked up in the Rule 5 draft, he has been tremendous, a 117 whip. Garrett Hampson also leads us in average, and Garrett Hampson really should have been an all-star, to be honest with you. But looking at our AAA affiliate and some of our minor league prospects, one guy that we have not highlighted much has been DeAnthony Pierre, 21-year-old right-hander with B potential, about 72 overall. He could be competing for a spot at the MLB level next season if he plays his cards right and continues to develop. So let's just check out our AAA isotopes going up against the Chihuahuas, who are the Padres' AAA affiliate. And let's just see what happens here in this matchup. So here is Jonathan Daza to lead off the game. He is at AAA, and he starts out with an error. He reaches base off of the bad throw from the third baseman. That's going to bring up Brian Rocchio, who we expected coming into the season to be our future at shortstop. He hits one deep to left field. That one is caught just shy of the warning track. But who is taking over as the shortstop of the future? It's CJ Abrams. A lot of you guys have said to keep him at the MLB level, but we decided to move him down to get him some more at-bats, and on this one, he grounds out into a double play. So here is DeAnthony Pierre on the mound. He's interesting, man. I think he's been developing, maybe slower developing than most pitchers that we've seen, but I still like his potential a lot. He's still only 21 as well. Just keep that in mind. So here he faces the first batter. That is a fly out to the third baseman. That brings up Walter Fields Jr., who we just traded to the Padres organization. His first at-bat versus his former team will be a single to right field. That one drops in, a little bit of payback on that swing. It's a nice bloop single as that brings up Ken Madden in the third hole, and hitting 280, he walks. So that brings up Nigel Mathewson to the plate, hitting 267, the big lefty, 3-2 count. And that one is also out of the zone. Now bases loaded here. So let's see if Pierre can get out of this jam facing a batter who's hitting 308 on the season, fly ball to right field. We will come up throwing, and that one will be offline and up the line. Stevenson can't make the tag. And it is 1-0 here for the El Paso Chihuahuas. It's going to bring up Matthew Patan to the plate, who hits one hard to the right side. Santiago Contador steps on first, and 1-0 here for El Paso. That moves us on to the fourth inning. Here is CJ Abrams at the plate. He walks, so now with one out, that brings up one of our best hitting guys in the organization right now. That is going to be Brian Simmons, the third baseman. He hits one hard up the middle. That one is going to be a single. Abrams with 88 speed. I think that's one thing that sets him apart from Brian Rocchio. He's got tremendous speed. Gregory Teixeira at the plate now. He swings and misses, and he will strike out. And runners on the corners. Hopefully we don't strand the guys. That brings up one of our outfield prospects in Howard Burt. He gets a pitch up in the zone on a 3-1 count. He maybe could have been looking for a better pitch than that one. It's just a fly out to short center field. So now we move on to the bottom of the fifth inning. Here's Walter Fields Jr. back at the plate now with runners on the corners with one out. It's a fly ball to center field. Burt has it. He's going to come up throwing, but the throw is offline. Even with 37 speed, the pitcher will score. And it's now 2-0 in favor of El Paso. So it brings up Mathewson here with 2 outs here. 3-2 count. He drives one deep to right field. This one's got carry into the bullpen. It's a home run. Mathewson's 16th home run of the year, and D'Anthony Pierre has given up 5 earned runs in this game, and that was right over the middle of the plate. And El Paso has a commanding lead. We move on to the bottom of the 6th inning here, as here's Gregory Teixeira at the plate. He hits one to the left center gap. He's got good power versus right, 78, and that one will score 2, as we do trim this lead down to just 3 here in the 6th inning. So that brings up Brett Cumberland to the plate. He is 0 for 2 in this game. He is the catcher for us, and he hits one hard to the left side. That one will be a ground out to third base. We move on to the 9th inning. Here is John Storm at the plate, but one last chance here for Albuquerque, down 8-2 now, and we end up losing this game 8-2. But we saw some decent things. I really wanted to see what D'Anthony Pierre can do, and I think that he's still got 1, maybe even 2 more years of developing. Only 21 years old, so he's got time, but we lose that one 8-2. So now we move up to the MLB level here to see our Bears finish, or at least start this month of August, facing the San Francisco Giants. And here is DJ Weatherspoon coming through with an RBI single in the bottom of the 9th inning. The young fella Takahashi comes through to score. Let's just take another look at this play. The throw was right on the money, but Takahashi with 90 speed gets in and ties this game up at 2. So Tyler Rogers blows the save, and that brings up Blackman, and he will check swing on that changeup. It's kind of hard to read those pitches from a submarine pitcher as we move on to extras. So the base runner starts at second here. Mike Leake on the mound, and that one will be a hit down the left field line. Charlie Blackman is not going to get to that one in time, and a runner will come across the plate. It's now a 3-2 lead for the Giants. These are the bottom 2 teams at the NL West here in the division this year. Here is a hit up the middle, and another run comes across the plate with men on the corners, and they will advance a runner over to third. And now it's runners on first and third, now a 2-run lead for the Giants. Joey Bart to the plate. He's going to keep this 10th inning going here for the Giants, and that one will be a 5-2 game. Still 1 out with runners on the corners. So that one will bring in Scott Alexander as we get Mike Leake out of there. Mike Leake had a good season last year, but I think now he's just aging. And that brings up the next batter, who hits one deep to left center, and Garrett Hampson has the speed to run that one down. But another run comes across the plate here in the 10th. It's now 6-2 in favor of the Giants. We do get 1 run back, as that brings up Garrett Hampson now with 2 outs and runners on the corners, and he cannot deliver as the Giants come into Dish Network Field and win this one 6-3 as they get 8 hits to our 9. You can just see DJ Weatherspoon went 2 for 4. Hito Takahashi, for some reason, got credited with the loss on that one. And now we move on to the middle of the month of August. You can just see we actually ended up winning a few games after that loss, 3-6 versus San Francisco. Ended up winning 5 straight. But then we dropped 2 of 3 to San Diego, including this 9-0 loss, as we are now at 48-66. But San Diego, after making that trade with us earlier before the trade deadline, it looks like their playoff push could be stalling right now, and maybe we have won that trade because of that, because they traded away CJ Abrams. We got a good player. They also got a good player in Eric Pena, but still, I think they were looking for a playoff push with Jacob Junis coming from Denver. But I think that now we're kind of on equal playing ground right now. They're not much better than us, at least as far as record-wise, but we'll see what we can do coming down the stretch, if we can get some quality wins, get some confidence going into the end of the year, into the offseason. So now we face the Washington Nationals, who are 50-63, really struggling this year as well. They're looking at a top 10 draft pick next season as they come into Denver. At Dish Network Field, Dallas Keuchel versus Luis Severino will fly out to right field right there from Hampson. That brings up Charlie Blackmon to the plate, who just continues to rip the cover off the ball. Another base hit for him. I'm definitely leaning towards signing him as a first baseman in free agency next year. Keston Hiura at the plate now, who's hitting tremendous since coming back from injury. This one's got carry. It reaches the wall. Home run number 6 for Keston Hiura. You don't have to hit it far here in this park to right field, but that one carried, and he's got that great power versus right, but this time is versus a left-handed pitcher, and that one is just to Oppo. 2-0 here for the Denver Bears. So Luis Severino dealing early on here in the second inning, getting a batter to chase one up in the zone for his second strikeout of the game. And that brings up Dallas Keuchel in the 9th spot, and he swings and misses at a low changeup, and we get out of 2. Severino was in a little bit of a jam on that at-bat. So now we move on to the third inning. Here is Juan Soto at the plate. The All-Star MVP will strike out swinging on the outside pitch. Severino's 4th strikeout of the game. That brings up Rafael Devers to the plate, who hits one deep to right field. That one is a no-doubter. Left right over the middle. A mistake pitch by Severino. And now it is a 3-2 game here for the Nationals. Devers signed with the Nationals in the offseason as he signed over from the Cleveland Indians. And now here in the 5th inning, Severino this time giving up a deep fly. This time it's going to reach the wall. That is going to be Trey Turner's 100th career home run, 420 feet, and the Nationals extend this lead to 2 runs. So now in the 6th inning, let's see if we can finally get something going here on offense, as we haven't had any runs on the board since the 1st inning, as that brings up Hampson. He flies out, an 0-for-3 game for him. Charlie Blackmon at the plate, and he just continues to hit the ball well. He's not going to be in our outfield next year, but like I said, I'm leaning towards signing him and putting him at first base. That will move our current first baseman, Keston Hiura, over to second as he comes up behind Blackmon. Ground ball to first, and Nationals get out of that inning as Josh Bell steps on first base. So later in this game, we will bring in Derek Rodriguez, who has been a kind of spot starter for us. He has one of the lowest whips on the team, 119. Let's see what he does here, facing Josh Bell with a man on third base, and that one will get through. And another run added on to the board for the Nationals. So let's see if we can come back here in the bottom of the 8th inning, as that brings up Hitor Takahashi, the rookie, to the plate. He will bunt one down the left field line, and that one will be safe at first base. And Takahashi's got great speed. He's always a threat to steal. He's got 92 speed and 95 steals. That brings up Raimel Tapia, 284 this season, as he swings and misses at that one, and that is a cut fastball. But Tapia is having a pretty good year in kind of a bench role. Brendan Rodgers to the plate next. That one will be a low cutter. And look at this. Thrown out at first base after trying to swipe the bag. I have no idea, but every single time I try to steal with Takahashi, he gets a terrible jump, despite having 92 speed and 95 steal. I have no idea why, as Rodgers strikes out at the plate. So Keston Hiura comes up to the plate now in the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs. He's our last hope, and that one will be one in the dirt as Suero gets him to strike out, and that one will be a 5-2 victory here for the Nationals on the road here in Denver. And we just can't get right now. But some of our players are doing pretty well, like Keston Hiura and Blackmon, 2 for 4 each. But the rest of the squad didn't do anything this game. We only had 5 total hits, and 4 of those came between our 3 and 4 hitters. So now we face those Padres again. And like I said, they were looking to make a move here at the deadline to kind of propel them to a wild card spot, but it doesn't look that way, as they have been floating around 500 after the trade deadline. As now we move into a tough situation here. Nick Goody here in the 9th inning, up to face Manny Machado. It's a fly ball to right field. Weatherspoon had a glove on it with the diving stop, with a throw to second will be offline. And Machado starts out this ninth inning with a hit. No outs. So Will Myers up to the plate, hitting about 220 on the year, and he swings and misses. Outside slider. Nick Goody gets his first out of the ninth. Jake Shiner at the plate, who hits one right up the middle, right back to Goody. The runner does advance, but 2 outs here as we're 1 out away from getting a close 1-run victory. Christian Vasquez at the plate now. He is 1 for 3. Goody, 2-2 pitch low. Strike 3. Slider gets him swinging. Nick Goody has been such a good pickup. 2-1 victory here as we get the road win. Goody comes up with his 19th save, giving Ramel Coffer another win. He has been developing for us. I really am excited for the future of him. And now we move on to the next game in this series. Now it's a 5-0 game. This time Carlos Estevez in the game here in the ninth inning. He does give up a hit here with 1 out. But we have a 5-run cushion. Estevez should be okay, even after giving up that hit to Nola. So that brings up Cronenworth to the plate. 0 for 3 in this game. He hits one hard to the right side. That one will reach the wall. That was a screamer, as that one is fielded by DJ Weatherspoon, but missing the cutoff man. A run will come across the plate. It's now 5-1 here for the Padres. Will Myers, who has been struggling, he comes up to the plate. This is a chopper up the middle. Iglesias fields it, throws the second out of the inning as the runner does move over to third. Trent Grisham now, who is also struggling, hitting .224, and we get him to swing and miss that one in the dirt. 5-1 victory here for the Bears. As you can just see, I think things are starting to change here in the division. San Diego is now starting to lose games. Fernando Tatis went 1 for 4 in that game, but definitely not having the impact that, those two guys, Tatis and Machado, had in season number 1 and 2. They are definitely having a down season. So we move on to the end of the month of August, now facing the Miami Marlins in a 3-game set. And now we face them at home. Let's see if we can shut them down. Here's Brian Anderson at the plate, one of their best stars. He swings and misses at a high fastball as Nick Goody goes for his 21st save on the season, facing Joey Gallo, who signed there in the offseason. It's a swing and miss. Goody has been lights out for us since moving to that closer role. It's a 2-1 victory here for the Bears. And there are some good signs for us going into the future. I definitely like Nick Goody a whole lot. He's 30 years old. He's probably our best offseason acquisition, even ahead of Severino. I might put him just above Severino, even though Severino gets the win in this one. Goody was such a great pickup because it was unexpected. It was a Rule 5 draft pickup, and he's going into age 31 season. He's still got some years left as a reliever and as a closer. And I'm thinking about extending his contract and really just locking him up because he has really shown me that he can pitch, and he can pitch well. So heading into the September call-ups, Garrett Hampson leads us in average, and I did not expect this coming into the season. Hampson's been a guy that's always been a high potential, but has never lived up to it. But this year he is. 287, 341 on base percentage, hitting very well. Maybe the reason why he wasn't hitting well before is because maybe we just had him in a high pressure role there as the leadoff hitter in the first couple seasons. Now we've kind of moved him around. He's hit 8th, he's hit 2nd, and maybe that just relieves a little bit of pressure off of him. Now Brendan Rodgers, his average dips down to 267 after he was hitting around 300 for most of the season. He still has a 341 on base percentage, which is pretty good. Fuentes continues to hit the ball well, 256. Most of that average comes versus right-handers, but for some reason I just cannot get that on-base percentage above 300. I have no idea why. Hitor Takahashi in his rookie year hitting 235, 281 on base percentage. Definitely want to get that up, but it's just his rookie year. I'm not that worried, to be honest with you. DJ Weatherspoon, his average dipped a little bit, 224, 291 on base percentage. I'm still going to keep him up. I won't move him down. Ronan Odor, Mr. Disappointing, hitting 209. And then Winston Sawyer, who we acquired from the Padres, .095 average. I mean, that is just absolutely terrible. But the main reason I had him up is because Martin Maldonado was hurt. He's now coming back from injury to start the month of September, so I'm happy about that. And just checking in on other prospects that we've had, I forgot about Will Benson a little bit. And the thing about him is that he is still getting better. But look at that average, 186 at AAA. I mean, that is just really bad. I mean, I don't know what's going on with Will Benson. It's definitely the vision probably, but I just need to keep developing him. I don't want to give up on him. But if he can't hit better, I don't know what to do. Now, our pitching staff in the organization is very, very promising. And I'm looking at our top 3 prospects here. Atlas Luntich, he has a shot to be one of the guys in our starting rotation next year. I'm definitely looking forward to him. Justin Maxwell won Pitcher of the Year last year. It's looking like he can win Minor Leaguer of the Year this year. I mean, he will be the first player to win 2 of the awards, and he looks like he is primed with a .98 whip. DeAnthony Pierre still has some developing to do. Tyler Pitzer was our 2nd round draft pick last season, and I believe he was actually our 3rd, and he was our 2nd actually. 21 years old, but deep potential. I was hoping that would get up to a C. He's still a promising pitcher. And then there's Jermaine Wetzel, who was our 1st round draft pick in season 1. I mean, he's still got 3 years left of developing. Then there's still Trez Jenkins, who won reliever of the year in season number 1, 108 whip. He is pitching tremendously. He does have a little bit of MLB experience as well. He moved him up last year at the September call-ups. And then there's Noah Sayer, the All-Star. He's doing pretty well. I imagine that next year he will be at the MLB level as well. And then there's Jose Ramirez, who we got in that Buster Posey trade, 108 whip, All-Star. He's also got a promising future as well. So here is what our depth chart looks like. I think it's kind of off just a little bit because there's some guys that are missing here, like Zion Storm. He's nowhere to be found on this. Muhammad Willingham is coming up. He's going to be at 75 overall. They're projecting next year. And just looking at the rest of the depth chart, I think it's a little bit off, but you can kind of see a preview of what we're looking at in the future as it stands right now. But a lot of things just aren't in the right place right now, like Garrett Hampson in center field. I don't know if he's going to be our center fielder there. Brendan Rodgers is missing from second base as well. So we'll have to see, but I'm excited about the future of this organization. And I think next episode I'm going to focus on the AA and AAA playoffs. Both the Yard Goats and the Isotopes are pretty much online to make the playoffs, so I definitely want to highlight them. So next episode, look forward to that. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as we round out season number 3 pretty soon. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.